Okay, Radar here with you. I'm going to show you all how I bait my crawdad traps. I build my own traps. This winter, I will do a thing on how to build them, because if you buy these, this is a sportsman size. If you buy this, not counting shipping, they're like $85, or they were. They might be more now because everything's gone nuts. So I build them with pretty big holes in them. Most people say use a 2-inch hole. I use a 3-inch or 2 3/4 because we have really big crawdads here. I was having trouble catching them when I first started doing this out here. My buddies were all teasing me because with this accent, you know, I could catch crawdads, but I couldn't figure it out. And I wasn't catching but just a few, you know. And I've got to messing with them, and I figured out that the crawdads were too big. And once I opened the holes of the traps, because I was using minnow traps that I'd bought, you know, they just have the little 1 1/4 inch hole or whatever. And you catch crawdads with them, but they just weren't catching I'm seeing crawdads everywhere, but I wasn't catching any. So I was trying to figure out what bait. I've used Velveeta cheese. I used everything, and it didn't matter because the holes were too small. So once I got the holes right, I started catching with 15 traps. We were getting 100 pounds some night. It was crazy. But anyway, so I build these traps myself. Again, I'll do one this winter on how to build them. They're cheap to build if you get the hardware cloth and do the holes and stuff all yourself. And then I get these rabbit latches to unlatch them because it just makes them easier than, you know, trying to wrap a wire around it and that. So anyway, there's the trap. And then what I do is I build little bait holders, because if you just throw the bait in the trap, they'll stay on the outside and pull it in. So I make these bait holders. That's what I put my bait in. And so how I bait my traps is I take a can of cat food, and I try and get like, this is like ocean whitefish. It works pretty good, but anything with an oil in it, and most, you know, cat foods have oil. And I just crack the top of it just a little bit, and then I put that in my little thing, because see, they're not super big, it's just enough for that. And I take a piece of bacon if I don't get stung by the yellow jackets, because there's yellow jackets everywhere today. I've already been stung like 20 times. Anyway, I just take one piece of bacon, stick it in there, and then any fish will work. I've been using mullet. If I catch a trout out here tonight, I'll use a trout. I'll use carp. You can take carp and cut it up and just put carp in there instead of the cat food. But I've got a bunch of finger mullet that I ordered from Florida that I was using for catfish bait. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it up, because you want the guts kind of exposed. So I just cut it in half, and then cut it open where the guts are exposed, and then chuck it in there, and then that's how I put it together. So see, I've got bacon in there. They'll pull through this because this is going into the trap. Then I take a rubber band off my wrist here and rubber band it tight, and that keeps the lid on it. And when you put it in the trap, you want to try not to spill the juice that's in the cat food, because when I dump it in the water, it'll put off this really nice oily scent scent trail that'll help bring the crawdads in. And again, I use a lot of bait, because you might get a crawdad, and I can leave these out. In Colorado or in Idaho, you have to check them every 3 days. I was checking them every night, and last year somebody stole my traps. I had these at the house is the only reason I have some, because they literally stole every trap I had in the water, which ticked me off. Because it's like, man, anybody who steals something out of the woods, that's just wrong. I got the generator going. I hope that's not too loud, because I'm charging up some stuff. But anyway, that's what I do. So I put that in there, so that's how you lay it in there. Now I have some people, and I had them in here, where you put a wire in here, just a wire that goes down with a hook on it, and it'll hold your bait in the middle of the trap. But I find that hadn't been too big of a problem. So then this is one of the shorter ones that I'll use here right near camp. And you're allowed in Idaho to put, I saw a Colorado plate, for some reason I'm thinking Colorado. You're allowed to put, you can have a fishing license and put out 5 traps per person with a fishing license. So I was putting out 15 traps. My wife and Eric, my son, and myself, we could put out 15 traps. And some nights on the snake, like I said, we were getting 100 pounds, 120 pounds one night. It was crazy. We actually bought a new freezer, another freezer that was bigger because we had so many crawdads, and I was flash freezing them and doing all kinds of stuff with them. But anyway, after they stole my traps last year, it just kind of made me feel like bleh about it. So I was just, I know who did it. Everybody's looking for them. Probably will never see them, but people, you know. Anyhow, I'm gonna go put these out. I'll do another video here in a bit and show you all how, like, where I put them. Because it's not like you just go out and chuck them out. There's some places you can do that. You can't do that in the Snake River here because of the current. So again, I can't go live because the Starlink thing didn't pan out like it was supposed to. So I'll just do another video on this and show you where I put these traps. Anyway, y'all have a good day. I hope this helped. And again, I'll do a video, or I'll do some tutorials on how to build these traps, because it'll save you a bunch of money. And you can also adjust the size of the hole. While I have a trap here, you can adjust the size of that hole, and I catch catfish all the time. So you could build this same thing and adjust the size of the hole when I show you how to build them. And you can use them for fish traps. You can downsize the hole and use them for minnow traps. I mean, you could use them for anything. It's just all about that hole size. So anyway, I'll be back up with you in a little bit. We'll be out on the boat and we'll go put some crawdad traps out. Y'all have a great day. God bless you, and enjoy your afternoon.